Ah, yes. So that's what it's like to worry about holding a lead. All it is worry, though, because at the end of the day, the result is the same. Avs win over the St. Louis Blues 4-3.
Oh my goodness gracious! Wasn't in time! Score! Justice is served!
Look, this game followed the same pattern that the last handful of wins have followed for the Avs. A three-step process, a weak first period that the Avs still get the better of, an unbelievably strong second period, and a cruise control third period that makes the game closer than it had to be. The major difference here being that the Blues are a decent hockey team, so it amplified all of those effects quite a bit. In the first period, the Avs pretty comfortably felt like they got outplayed, but Devan Dubnyk in his first start for the Avalanche looked, I won't say comfortable, but solid. He made the saves that the Avs needed him to, and despite the Avs' first line not doing much in the first period, their depth is just incredible. Yes, if you look at their fourth line, you're not expecting that much offense out of it, but when you compare their fourth line to other fourth lines around the league, it's just fine. Now, some of this production still does come from unlikely sources to a certain extent, but the Blues just don't have the depth to keep up with the Avs. This play starts with good forecheck pressure from the Avs, forcing the Blues to panic a little bit. The puck does not get out of the zone. A good keep in there at the blue line by Bellemare gives the Avs an opportunity as Compher picks it up deep in the zone. Kind of a crazy play with three Avs lined up along the near boards. Eventually, this puck gets lost. It comes out to the middle. It's just a weird bouncing puck that ends up right at Liam O'Brien's feet. O'Brien is able to collect the puck, shield with his body, and give a pass off to Bellemare. This is excellent work all the way around. Bellemare doesn't overthink this one. He just fires it and beats Binnington clean. A huge first goal. They're that much more important against better hockey teams, and it gives the Avs a little bit of breathing room, at least momentarily. One of the major problems we're seeing develop for the Avs, one that has to be solved going forward, is the penalty kill. Its numbers are crashing, and the play is just not very good, if we're being honest, and the Blues managed to tie it up late in the first because of it. On the penalty kill here, standard stuff, the Avs like to make one forward hyper-aggressive out high. They kind of end up with two a little aggressive here, as Jost gets a little pick play set on him, making it a little bit more difficult for him to get back. Soderberg gets aggressive, leaves a ton of room here for the Blues to walk into. They take advantage of it and forces Jost over on the backside. Just a very nice slap pass here as he winds up for the shot and instead slips it through. Girard not quite out high enough, not quite strong enough to get the stick lift, and it's a perfect redirection past Dubnyk. Look, power play goals happen. You have to limit them, not only by having a good PK, but by not taking penalties. The Avs aren't really doing either right now, and you'll see that throughout the rest of this game. So, a relatively even at best, if you're the Avs first period, even 1-1 in the score, obviously, but the Avs get outshot and outpossessed in the period, if we're being honest. Could be better by a lot of standards, but not trailing is a great thing for the Avalanche because they own the second period. Hands down, doesn't matter which team they're going against, they just dominate. They bring something at the start of second periods that other teams not only don't expect, but just cannot handle. Again, it's the Avs' depth that shows up first, but this goes well beyond the bottom six forwards, the bottom pairing D. We're talking about 9th, 10th D on the depth chart here, picking up points, and even deeper down the list on the forward side. A rimmed puck by McDonald, a great pinch by Connor Timmins to keep this play alive. He eventually gets it back to the point, and JT Compher before quickly returning back to the point himself to receive this cross pass. This has caused St. Louis to get a little bit chaotic in front of their own net. No one really in the high home plate area here as Timmins swirls around, finds a shooting lane, and gets this one through initially. Liam O'Brien, the man in front to get his stick on a puck, cause a strange deflection. This actually comes in and hits the post behind the net. Binnington doesn't find it, and Comfer is the only one on this side as he's shaken off his man by a mile. Hanging out puck in the crease, that's an easy one for JT. The first NHL point for Connor Timmins, a long time coming. Congratulations to him, and a 2-point night for Liam O'Brien as well. Look, when you get points from these guys, you just slam dunk and keep going. With 2 goals from the depth, the Avs have to be feeling good. They eventually get a power play opportunity and take the 2-goal lead because the Stars want to show up and get some goals of their own. Avs lose the faceoff here, but look at this grease work from partially Nathan MacKinnon, but mostly JT Compher in deep on the top power play unit, doing the role that you know he's going to be tasked with his other talent. Just gets in there and digs a puck out to give the Avs a chance. Not a whole lot more to this one. Makar works it over to Rantanen. The classic Mikko one-timer is just a bomb past Binnington. Landy doing his thing, screening in front. Night in and night out, these are the Avs' main producers, and obviously you see that in the 11-game point streak for Nathan MacKinnon, but Mikko is still challenging up on his way to the Rocket. Unlikely to catch Matthews, but he's day-to-day now, Matthews that is, so maybe miracles do happen there. And then Cale Makar, obviously the only defenseman in the NHL keeping up a point-per-game pace. The Avs have a Hall of Fame core in these 3 players. It's that simple. Nathan MacKinnon looks like a shoo-in. Cale Makar, if he has the longevity of his career, same thing. And Mikko Rantanen quietly has put together an unbelievably good case for it as well so far. This is the bright future of the Avs, as much as the coming prospects are. People forget just how young the Avs are. Cale Makar, only 22. Nathan MacKinnon, only 26, I believe, and Mikko Rantanen just 24. I even overestimated that after checking. MacKinnon is just 25, so yeah. A lot of good years left. And then, to cap things off, the Avs get another depth-ish goal, but they get more forwards involved in the scoring with, we'll call it the pseudo-third line, and Mikko Rantanen getting involved because that's what he do. Look, the Avs just control hockey when they want to, and they make goaltenders pay. Avs win a puck in their own zone and get off to the races here, and this is just immaculate work from Tyson Jost, going all the way down the ice, maintaining the puck and holding on to it through the pinch along the half wall, getting all the way around the net. You start to see a problem. The Blues defense really seems to struggle when the Avs get opportunities to skate with the puck in the offensive zone. They don't seem to track off the puck very well. It's exactly the case here as Saad slips right into a soft spot. Jost recognizes him, hits him, and Saad gets a nice finish off of that. A 4-1 lead a little bit over halfway through the second period. As I've said, you've heard this story before. You know what's coming. The Avs are going to gear it down. The possession metrics even up through the rest of the second period, but the Avs don't give anything away. And a 3-goal lead heading into the third, that should be a win. And it would be a win. It would just be a lot more nail-bitey than you would like to see. This isn't unusual. We've seen the Avs give up these kind of goals a lot to reduce games to 1-2 goal type of things, but there's a different feel here. Previously in these wins, it's been pretty confident in the third period. Even after teams score 1 or 2, the Avs don't look particularly worried. The Blues make this a 2-goal game off of a fluky bounce, and you could tell. The fan base, the hockey team, there was concern. Blues get the zone and just throw a puck generally towards the net that skitters off of it into behind it, a little bit in the trapezoid. Mike Hoffman has already touched this puck, just throwing it generally towards the net. Dubnyk not quite quick enough to back off and seal against the post. It ends up bouncing off of him, popping up and over him, and dribbles into the net. Just a weird bounce. The push from the Blues after that goal was significantly stronger than what we've seen out of the weaker teams in the West. They were hounding pucks, coming at the Avs. The Avs, whether it be trying to maintain a little bit of rest or simply just being out of gas, clearly and definitively could not keep up. Blues basically did whatever they wanted, and the Avs got away with it for a while. Again, good play from Dubnyk and just kind of managing things to the best of their ability. An unusual spot for the Avs. Usually they can kind of just do what they want with the puck. Here they were struggling with it, And while it didn't cost them at 5-on-5, it did eventually force them into stupid mistakes. Tyson Jost takes a penalty flipping a puck over the boards. It's just the type of penalty you cannot have late in a game. Given the Avs' penalty kill struggles of late, you know what's coming. Blues power play late. They're going to work the puck down deep, and you're going to see the Avs just overcommit a little bit with both forwards in a little bit too deep. So when the Blues work the puck back out up high, the forward can't be aggressive and get into the open space to cut off a lot of the passes they can make out high in the zone. See a little bit of a pick play set by O'Reilly on Nichushkin as well to help that. It just leaves so much more room to work with up high for St. Louis, and they take advantage of that by going cross ice to Hoffman. Hoffman unleashes a one-timer here that Dubnyk actually gets a piece of. Nearly stops it, but it just dribbles off of him and just into the net. So here's the duality of it. They've made it a one-goal game, but there's just a little bit over 3 minutes left to play. On one hand, 3 minutes goes by extremely quickly. On the other, that is an eternity. And the Avs needed quality play to survive it. Dubnyk had to make 2 solid saves, one of them very, very good, to get the Avs through and to the win, but that's what they got. They did the job to get the W. Again, same story, third periods need to be better, and the first and second, look, the second is great. Don't touch that period, keep doing what you're doing. The first, you'd like to see a little bit more of that jump from the second period out of. At this point, with Philip Grubauer on the COVID protocol list, it's going to be Dubnyk as the starter going forward, so the Avs know what they have to work with, and this was a solid game. Carl Soderberg also back in action for the Avs after the trade now. He looks solid on the second line. You can expect to see a significant role for him continuing going forward, especially as the Avs sort things out. Donskoy was out in this game because he was feeling ill due to getting his COVID vaccine. A lot of weird factors going into this game, and the Avs still managed to win it, even if it was close, even if there was that fear that they might blow a lead. Both teams also did hit posts in this one. That's 30 for the good side, and all the way up to 51 on the bad. The night in, night out grind has spiraled entirely out of control for not just the Avalanche, but the entire NHL. But the Avs just keep doing what they need to do. Keep that up, and we're talking about a President's Trophy. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. Head on over to thednvr.com for more post-game coverage. I am Rudo, and one of these days I'm going to get a better camera.